Hello and welcome to ELA class. Today is Friday, February 26th. Today's focus will be writing a solid paragraph. It is the final part of this week's working conditions petition assignment, which will be a test grade. For our module today, we have a GPS, which you need to read and complete. We have an agenda, which you need to listen to. You can always listen to it through Immersive Reader, or you can read it. There is a video of the day, part 3. That's what you're watching now. Going to walk you through writing the essay. There is the actual working conditions petition assignment, which you should have 2 of the 3 parts already completed. Those would be 2 charts. There is several items that can help you write a solid paragraph. There is a video, there is a rubric, there is a page writing a solid paragraph that you can read and listen to, and there is the quote sandwich. Let us look at the assignment. Okay, at this point, you should have the first chart completed. Yesterday in class, I had you highlight green areas are reasons why she should, or quotes that support why she should, red are she shouldn't. That was the first chart. The second chart was about the working condition, but in relationship to whether or not she should actually sign it was the inference. What you have on that chart, you have 2/3 of your quote sandwiches. So let's scroll down to the question. The question is, should Liddy sign the petition or not? Okay. If you choose items that are highlighted in green, you think she should. Items highlighted in red, you think she should not. Okay. So, restate the question. Liddy should sign the petition because, and I gotta look at my reasons. Okay. My reasons are centered around the health, safety, and environment working conditions. Now, I'm not going to have either of my quotes or even my explanations in my claim. And if I have, but I'm going to allude to them. I'm going to make a reference to them. Liddy should sign the petition because she deserves to work in a place where there is a positive environment that has no noise pollution and clean air to breathe. Now, up until this point, I've encouraged you just to copy what I've done for the quotes, but I want you to come up with your own claim. You can rephrase things here, but you need to make sure that you restate the question and then have a answer and then a because. Okay, so I restated the question, I have an answer and then a because. Liddy should sign the petition because. Okay, so you can play with that a little bit to come up with your own words for that. Maybe you're using different quotes. Now you're going to move to your quote sandwiches, where you need to introduce the quote, have the quote, explain the quote. I need to introduce the quote, here's the quote, explain the quote. So what I need to do is I need to transition from my claim. Liddy should sign the petition because she deserves to work in a place where there is a positive environment that has no noise pollution and clean air to breathe. Liddy is first Liddy first encounters noise pollution in chapter I'm introducing the quote, telling and setting the stage for the quote. Liddy first encounters noise pollution in chapter 9 of the novel when she enters the factory. Catherine Patterson writes, and I'm going to have my quote there. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, well, maybe I should have had tag in my introduction. So maybe I should start off in the novel. Remember, tag is title, author, genre. In the novel, Liddy by Catherine Patterson. Liddy should sign the petition because she deserves to work. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up here to my first quote. I'm going to copy it. This is where doing the chart and the work helps you out. I'm going to paste it. And get rid of the green. Okay, so I have the quote. I already have the explanation on why she should sign it and how it helps. You see, so how basically this paragraph's writing itself if you did the work. If you did the work. Okay, so you had to come up with a claim, and now you're doing your two quote sandwiches. Introduce the quote, explain the quote, have the quote. So now I need to introduce the second quote. Another detrimental, another negative working, another negative environmental make sure that it is chapter 10. Go up to my first chart. Was chapter 10 talking about the air. I noticed that my first quote is on page 62. So I need to make sure that I include that. So I'm gonna get rid of the period there and put in parentheses. It's author's last name and page number. And then it's the period. This quote shows, now I'm gonna have another negative environmental working condition is mentioned in chapter 10 when Liddy talks about the air quality. I'm going to just paste it down, and I'm going to get rid of the color again. I got to introduce the quote because I can't have a hanging quote. So I could write Patterson states, now that she thought of it, she states what Liddy is thinking. Now that she thought of it, she could hardly breathe. The air was so laden with debris. Okay, we're going to get rid of the end punctuation just because we need to put that after our parentheses. That's Patterson. Page number. Page number was what? Do you remember what the page number was? It was 75. Period. And then we're going to have our quote. We're going to add that to our paragraph. And now we need to conclude. Now, some of your paragraphs might be similar to mine, but I shouldn't read the identical paragraph. What should be different in your paragraph to my paragraph would be the claim is going to be slightly different. Your introductions to each quote will be slightly different. If you filled out the chart exactly like I did because you're using the previous videos, then your quote and your explanation are going to be the same, though you need to make sure you are stating who's saying the quote, and that might be worded a little differently. You could write, Catherine Patterson writes, comma, the first time. Later on, you could write she then writes, because you can refer to Catherine as she later on in your paragraph. So as far as my solid paragraph goes, I have a claim. I have two quote sandwiches. What my paragraph is lacking is a conclusion. So now I need to wrap everything up. And this is also a place where your paragraph is going to be slightly different. When I read these, I should not be reading my own paragraph. Okay, if I'm reading my own paragraph, you're going to be losing points. You're going to be losing points if I'm reading exactly what I'm putting on this video right now. I'm restating the claim. Because I'm going to go back to the fact that she deserves to work in an environment where she doesn't have to worry about getting sick. Everybody deserves to work in an environment that they're not afraid of getting sick. Sometimes it happens, sometimes things can't be avoided. But nobody should want somebody else to work in an environment where they can become sick. So in conclusion, Liddy should sign the petition because she's a hard worker. She wants to work. A lot of people are hard workers and they want to work, they just don't want to get sick because of it. It has nothing to do with how hard they work, how many hours they put in a day for their job. Liddy's the hardest working person in the factory. She just doesn't want to be sick. And that's why she starts thinking about signing the petition, even though she doesn't actually sign it, because when she finally decides to, it's too late. So in conclusion, Liddy should sign the petition because she deserves to work in an environment In conclusion, Letty should sign the petition because she deserves to work in an environment that is safe and will not cause her to become sick. There's no personal opinions put in there. If you wanted to have a personal opinion or thought, it would be after you write what you just wrote. Maybe you include another sentence. If you think about Tuesday's February writing task, if you really think that everybody should have a cell phone from 2 years old on, you would include that after you discussed what the author said about cell phones. And if you wanted to put your 2 cents in about working conditions and how this applies to the modern world more than ever, then that's where you put it. Okay, you don't need it. You don't need it because the question doesn't ask for it. The question asks you whether or not you think Liddy should sign the petition. Again, your paragraph might be similar to mine. It should not be identical. If I have my paragraph right here up on the screen and I'm grading yours on the other screen, they should not be identical. Your claims should be slightly different. Your introductions of your quote should be slightly different. And your conclusion definitely should be different as well. Hope this helps. Hope this helps. If you want to try to write this without using any of mine, that's fine. Remember that yesterday you came up with 4 choices. So if you picked my 4, maybe you want to write your paragraph using the 2 negative reasons. So then your claim would be that she should not sign it because if she does, she'll lose her job. That's a good approach, and you can go with that as well. Make sure you complete this by the end of the day on Tuesday. If you need any help on any of this, please message me through Canvas inbox, hopefully by the end of the day so that I can get back to you. Have a great weekend and good luck on your paragraph writing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.